Angela Rockstar from Big Brother 20 stops by to tell us all about her famous Big Brother feud with Brett, how she got cast on Big Brother, and how she got the nickname Rockstar. Bonus question, who on the Jim Joe Steve Show did Rockstar once dump? All this week on Jim Joe Steve Show.
Here's a story about 20 years ago. Three bros who grew up in Baltimore to the beach show. Every summer they had to go before they got married with kids. Now they all grown. Long trips to New York and Toronto. Playing beer pong with Captain Morgan's free throws. And if you don't know, now you know. Coming in hot, Jim Joe Steve Show.
Hello and welcome back to another very special episode of Jim Joe Steve Show. My name's Joe.
I'm Jim.
And for the first time, we have a celebrity. Oh, Steve's not here again. Please welcome to the stage, Angie Rockstar.
Hello, happy to be here.
Hey, so are you going by Rockstar? Are you back to Lantry?
No,
No?
we never use that.
Okay, we can take that out if you want.
It's okay. So for a while now, I mean, people call me Rockstar. They always kind of have, but I go by Angela Rockstar. Like, you know those people that you say two names?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one of them. But
Yeah.
you can call me Angela, Angie. You've known me for a while. You can call me Rockstar, whatever you like.
So a couple things. Angie was on Big Brother 18.
20.
It was 2018.
In 2018.
Yes, that's
in
right.
2018.
Yep.
Big Brother 20. And Angie was also my girlfriend for 1 week in high school.
Yeah, it was great.
It was, I mean, we were in love for a week. We were in love.
Oh, it's true. It's true. I'm so sorry that I broke up with you.
Yeah, so I just learned this story when Angie came in and we were just kind of talking beforehand. I don't recall how it ended, but she reminded me. So you want to tell that story?
Yeah, I was just telling my teenager this morning. You were very nice. You were kind. There was a week where I was very sick, and I've always, to my credit and my detriment, been vain. And you brought me soup after I said, don't come over here, because I looked a whole mess with like the green snot and the like puffy face and stuff. But you came anyway and you brought soup, and my mom was like, that's so sweet. And I was like, nah, done. And that was it.
Joe, the hopeless romantic.
Right, I know. It's
Always bringing soup. He smelled like soup.
He smells like soup.
So kind though.
Rockstar, obviously, probably not your name you were born with. So at one point you said, I'm going to switch it up. So what was a few, if there were any other ones that were in the running that just didn't make the cut? Like, was Rockstar,
man, that's a good question.
Was Rockstar like the only one? You said it once and you're like, that's it? Or did you have like a couple on the paper?
That is a great question. Rockstar was actually, so when I was in high school, I had a fake ID. And
McLovin.
Yeah, I was always throwing parties, and my mom would say to me and my bestie at the time, you guys party like rock stars. And then I went to college, and my college roommate, who I love dearly, was always like, I'm a rock star, I'm a rock star, I'm a rock star. And then at some point in being in the ball scene, they started calling me Rockstar. So then I was just like, all right, Angela Rockstar, because I always liked my first name. I think Angela's cool. It means bringer of truth. And I'm a very like forthcoming, authentic person. So I liked keeping my first name, but my last name is linked to my biological father, who I don't really associate with. And so my kids are actually born rock stars. I wrote that on their birth certificate. That's their legal
awesome.
last name. So I just started a new.
I mean, it's a hell of a last name.
Definitely.
Joe, if you had to
commands-
make your own last name, what would it be?
Ram's pretty dope. I'm not changing
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've never. Tada.
Ta-da!
Jimmy Tada.
I like it.
You know that. Man. All right. So I'm tying things together here. So that Jimmy Tada sounds like that would be a character from a John Waters film, and that ties in here because Angie won big, like, was it biggest local celebrity in Baltimore?
Best local celebrity.
Over John Waters,
In
over the filmmaker John Waters.
in
Wow.
2013, before I was on Big
Before
Brother.
before Big
Before
Brother.
Big Brother,
before
yeah.
Well, how the hell does that happen?
I'm a nightclub personality. I don't know that I am anymore, but I used to be very big in, or I don't want to say very big. God, that sounds like an asshole, right? Like, I don't
That's
mean
all
to
right.
be like that. I used
most
to
of
be
us are
well
assholes.
known
Okay.
in the Baltimore nightclub scene. I was a manager of several different clubs, but even before that, I was a club kid. I told you I had a fake ID. I used to stalk K Swift, who, rest in peace, is the founder of Baltimore Club Music, who now they call it Jersey Club because K Swift's no longer alive, but she founded that whole genre of music, and I used to stalk her up in every club.
So that genre of music's still going, and now it's called Jersey Club?
Yes.
I hate
No
that.
kidding.
I hate that it's called. I mean, I just found out. Obviously.
Jersey
I hate
Club.
that it's called Jersey Club.
Philly has adapted it too, so they say Philly Club. But I always remind any of the DJs that I meet that are rocking out, I'm like, you better give some props to K Swift.
Huh.
She's the founder, legendary.
Jim was a club kid too.
Yeah.
Jim's a little bit older than us, so I don't know if you guys were ever in the same place at the same time. But Jim loved.
I was more like rave scene, not necessarily.
Oh, that's true.
It's
So-
a slightly different crowd.
I-
Sometimes mixed on, if you went to the
At the
wrong
docks
Thursday night
or whatever.
something.
Yeah. So I fell into the rave scene after the ball scene, after the club scene. There were actually parties back in the day in middle school that we could go to, and that's when I started going clubbing.
I didn't get invited to those
Oh,
parties.
well, I'm so sorry. They were so much fun. Yeah, we would like spend the night over at somebody's house, and then somebody from the city would come down and pick us up, and we would be like, "Oh yeah, we're spending the night," and then we would go down to the Paradox in Baltimore City in middle school and
Are
just
you
like,
fucking kidding me?
I swear,
Wow.
I swear.
I mean, that's aggressive.
We were partying like, and I remember.
Now, was it just sneaking out? The party was just to get there, or were you also partying in middle school?
No.
So you just wanted to be a part of the scene.
I mean, I was dancing.
Okay,
like
right,
I was
right, right.
clubbing. Like I was just living my best life, but I didn't really start like partying on substances.
Okay, well that's good. I
until
mean, middle
later.
school would be,
Yeah, no, I was just going out and
Right.
dancing and living my best life. It was great.
That's awesome.
I look fondly upon those times.
Now that I'm old, it's like it's all you got. You look back, you go, "Damn, I was cool once." you
Right.
know?
Right. And now we're paying too much for concert tickets. to bring that up 5 episodes in a row.
Right.
Concert tickets are expensive.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Your arch nemesis from Big Brother. So he was on a podcast recently. Did you see that?
No.
Where he was just like kind of like rehashing how the whole thing went down.
Oh boy.
And but you were mentioning something about him.
Yeah, he just got he's now on the circle, so that'll be interesting to see like how he plays it, or if he's a catfish or not a catfish, or if he plays himself, if how people relate to that. When we were on Big Brother, I was looking at this dude like, see, I was a little bit older than my cast, so I had the reference point of Revenge of the Nerds.
Uh-huh.
Remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, this dude is like an alpha beta dickhead. Like, and like, how are you guys letting him say all this shit? And like, it was just misogynoir, if you will. And people were just eating that shit up. And I was like, for what? For why? Like, what year is it? Where are we? But nobody understood until maybe a few years later, if they even understood. I mean, I guess, I want to credit people where they're due. He definitely has an audience. He's got like hundreds of thousands of followers everywhere. People love that shit. So we all have our own niche.
Is he like a bro-y kind of guy?
He's
yeah.
Okay. But like also like a douche bro.
Yeah.
But that's his.
That's the vibe I got when I
Yeah.
saw, like, I did watch the podcast. I don't know much about him, but he did basically say that he made it all up, and it was just for, I guess, the gamemanship of it, and that's just kind of where the chips fell. But he did say he just threw you under the bus, and
Oh no,
that,
he did.
that's just what happened.
I think the thing that bothered me most about him is at the time is that. Well, I had just had a baby when I went on Big Brother. I had a baby 5 months before.
Right.
So, I was like living my best life in my postpartum body, which I'm sure maybe you all have seen but wouldn't clearly understand what I'm saying. But it's a shifting.
I like to think I have a perpetual postpartum body.
There you go. So, it's like a hormonal shit. It was a weird time to be on TV, that's for sure. It was a very odd time, and my ex and I were not really doing well. So it was a strange time, and then to go in there and be met with this kid that was basically saying stuff out loud like, let's only keep the attractive people in the house. And I knew that he was gunning for me, and I'm like, motherfucker, like, are you calling bitch? Like, you calling me ugly? Like, what? Excuse me? So that was really my beef with him. He would walk around to everybody and be like, you look beautiful, you're a goddess, blah 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 blah, and then look me up and down and just walk away. And I was like, ooh. So we never hit it off, except one time we had one conversation, just the two of us, and we spoke about quantum physics. And I was like, all right, there might be a little bit more something to you going on. So the entire time that I've been off the show, I can only really say anything about him at that point in time. You know, I feel like we should all have space to grow, evolve, change.
Right,
I don't know that he has, because I've seen some of his stuff, but maybe that's just his character or whatever. And I don't know. I think he's probably a decent fellow, I suppose. I mean, we all are. And, you know, we're people. We got goods and bads.
Now, how involved were behind the scenes for that show? Would the producers come in and try to orchestrate, maybe amplify some things for obviously entertainment value?
So we rarely, if ever, saw production. Ever. You're really in that house and you're only seeing these 15 other people. However, sometimes they might, like, if something's going on, they might say so-and-so to the diary room, so you have to walk past something that's happening in another room, or they might ask a bunch of questions when you're in the DR, which you don't see anybody in there. All you see is this plexiglass tinted window, and you can tell there's a camera there, but you don't see any of the producers or anything like that.
Are they? And they're only asking questions. They're not like feeding you any information.
Yeah,
like, just
no.
FYI, this
Yeah,
happened over
I
here.
mean,
How do you
not
feel
for
about
me,
that?
not
Okay.
for me. Maybe the other side, maybe the side that won, but no, they weren't feeding me information.
And there's not even like camera crew, right? Because all the cameras are
Are they
like,
hard mounted?
yeah,
Yeah.
they're all mounted
Okay.
around the
Yeah,
house.
you don't see anybody.
So very quickly
I think the
kinda
only
ignore them.
thing that production tried to do for me, which actually really, unbeknownst to them, really effed with my head, is that they would say stuff like, let's come up with a name for my ex. Let's call him
Fanny.
No, that's actually my ex.
Oh,
Let's call him John, because that doesn't sound anything like his name.
right. Okay.
All right. So they would be like, when I would be really upset, they would say, well, what would John be saying to you right now? And then I would just fucking lose it, because John said to me, if you go on this show, I'm not going to be home when you get here.
Oh, he didn't want you to. He didn't support you going.
He didn't want me to go.
Really?
He didn't want me to go. Yeah, he didn't want me to go.
Now, were you together before you went?
We were together.
Okay, so
We
that
were
was a very
together.
fresh it happened during the show or right before you went on the show?
Right before I went, he
Okay.
was like, "Don't expect me to be here when you get home." And
But he was, right?
But he was,
Okay.
and he was actually rooting for me very publicly.
Oh, really?
So they were trying to give me some like support of like whatever the hell John was saying on, you know,
Social media?
social
or- yeah,
media,
okay.
and like
But you had no contact.
I had
with-
no contact. We can't talk to any of these people. So I would just like lose my shit and think, oh, he's not even there.
man.
And it
Oh,
would
that's
just fuck
tough.
me up even further. So that was, I've never actually dated anyone named John, just to be clear.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer. I'm just coming up with a name here.
Right. Man, that's funny.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts. But I don't regret it at all. And I actually, during having my son, because the kid that I had before I went on Big Brother I had a 10-year no pregnancy IUD. So he was not only not planned, but actively planned against. I was managing a nightclub at the time. It kind of shook up my entire existence because I was like, well, what am I going to do? And so
throw a kink in the plans.
my mom said, after I had the baby, she was like, well, Angela, you should really apply for Big Brother. And I'm like, why? What is Big Brother? And
it was her idea.
It was my mom's idea.
No kidding.
It's her favorite show. And I had never watched it. I actually have a long-standing history with Big Brother for never having watched it. When I was in high school, I had a German exchange student.
Okay.
And she would always, oh, do you know Big Brother?
Wait,
Big
was that
Brother.
Kiwi?
Inika.
Oh, yes, I remember her.
Yeah.
Why is your memory so good right now, Joe?
It is.
Why is it so good?
It's,
I
I mean, it's
remember
better than
Kiwi
it's ever
too,
been
though.
right now. He's just firing at all
It's
cylinders.
before I smoked a lot.
Yeah. So she would be like, do you watch Big Brother? And I had no idea what that was. It was a big deal in Germany. So when I went over there, my junior year going into my senior year, they were watching it. Well, I didn't speak fucking German, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. And it was basically like that night vision camera of people in the house. And I watched it, but I had no idea. So then I come home. I think that was like our senior year of high school. Mm-hmm. And Big Brother dropped in the United States. But my parents loved it. And my parents, God, I love my parents, but they're a little bit square. So I wasn't taking any recommendations of shows that they were watching. They lived, ate, and breathed this show.
Wow.
So for years, we're watching Big Brother. And I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like, you guys are weird. And then she reminded, years later, flash forward, like, I guess, like, 10, 15, 20 years later. And she said, you should apply for Big Brother. And I was like, why? She said, it's $500,000. I was like, bet, that's a house cash in Colombia, which is expensive as fuck.
Right.
And so I was like, all right. But what I was saying was, because my son was such a surprise, I was like, I need to go to therapy, figure out like what's going on, process. I'm a big advocate of going to therapy and have somebody as a sounding board to bounce your shit off of.
Sure.
That has nothing to do with your life, because then they don't hold on to nothing. Like, you could talk to your friends, you could talk to your man, you could even talk to your parents, but anything you say, they're going to hold on to with this like emotional tie
Use
where
it against you.
you go talk to a therapist and you can say whatever the hell you want, and maybe they care slightly, but like that's their job, is just to sit there and listen to you talk your shit. So I had worked through that with my therapist, and the whole time I was talking about my relationship with my ex and where it was going and up and down, and that I had always wanted to be in the public eye, always wanted to be famous. I went to theater school in college and minored in musical theater, and that was like always my big dream. And she said, go for it. You have this opportunity, go for it. Your man's got whatever he's got going on. If he really wants to be there, he'll be there. If he doesn't, this is you need to go for it. And so I said, well, I'm going for it.
And what was his reason for not wanting you to go? Was it he didn't want you to be away for that long? He wasn't like a spotlight kind of guy? Because, I mean, he's dating you, so he must be okay with some sort of spotlight, or no,
I think a lot of times we can look at someone and we can create this vision of this fantasy of how perfect they would be, but then the reality is they may or may not sync up with who we actually are. He is an introvert. He does not like the spotlight. He did not even like me running nightclubs. It was a constant like be in the house and be just for me. I'm kind of for everybody. I'm for the streets, I guess. Like, I'm for the States. Like, I am a monogamous person when it comes to relationships, but I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
So it just, we never could meet on those levels. When it was just him and I, it was just him and I. But a lot of times it was him and I and my public, whatever, at one time it was a lot smaller, but it was still a very good group of people that believe in me, that would support me, that wanted to see me grow. And so I really have a hard time not syncing up with that. Yeah.
So like, would you like, would you want to date somebody else that like had that same like public kind of thing, or do you like being the spotlight? Like, could you date somebody that had that same persona and like, because I don't know if it would necessarily be a competition, but it could end up being something like that. Like, oh, like you've never been with somebody that like has a little bit more of a spotlight than you. Like, do you think that would be something for you?
I love that question. That's actually currently, I have decided that is absolutely what I want in a partner, is someone that wants to make the cute little couple content, that wants to be in the public eye. I do not feel like that would threaten me in any kind of a way, especially because I understand that we get a lot of randoms, you know, that are in the DMs, or that we get a lot of like, and when you sync up with somebody, like I said, I'm a monogamous person. So when I find somebody that I'm vibing with on that level, it is me and them. I'm not looking anywhere else for anything else in those kind of romantic ways. I would like to be with somebody that also wants to create content, that wants to grow, that wants to be in the public eye, because I love it in the public eye.
Yeah.
And I've learned that the introverted folks, they don't like that. And you know, since I've recently been dating a bit, it's been a little weird. I put myself on the Bumble initially, and I put myself on Hinge, and I'm on another one that's like a millionaire dating app for the fuck of it. But
Fishing.
But they freak out when they just see my social media following.
Okay, I was just going to say, are you on there as yourself, or before they contact you, do they know via your profile who you are? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, most of them have not known who I was. I'm a big believer that I'd like to make sure you're not a bot. You know, we have bots watching our stories now, and that's the wildest thing. Like,
Doesn't surprise me.
It's crazy. I'm like, how are you gonna take the time to watch my story? You're a robot. I mean, I love it a little bit. It's kind of like, it's interesting, but you're not a real person. How are you watching my stories? Anyway, I digress. If I meet somebody on a dating app, which I did pull myself off of because a lot of these people just are not serious. When I met them on the dating app, I would be like, all right, I like your vibe. I like your energy. What's your Instagram? And I would do that for a multi-tiered reason. First, I want to make sure it's a real person. There's a lot of people that are like fronting and putting pictures from 30 years ago, or joking about their height, or not. Maybe they're married. Like, we don't know. We don't know who these people are. We met them on a dating app. So I want to see a little bit of your life, what you're showing. And I also want you to see my life. I want you to see
what you're getting into.
What you're getting into, because that's a lot for some people. And no, I'm not dropping my shit for you. I'm on a mission to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and see how big I can get until I die. So no one. I've had love a couple times. Love is beautiful. I love love.
We had that week, remember?
We had that week. It was stunning. It was amazing. But I literally, I'm not going to stop on my mission to be iconic, essentially. Like, I'm not. So I would like somebody else that's on that same vein or vibe, if you will.
Yeah.
And I want them to see what they're getting into. Absolutely.
Do you think so? I see. I mean, you posted your kids to social media, Aradia and Avalon. Is that
Aradia, Avalon, and Isaac.
And Isaac, right?
Yeah.
So, like, do they? I mean, I especially Aradia. Like, since I've watched her grow up on your social media, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, she's got your personality, at least from that aspect. Maybe she's not as much like you. She loves the camera. Like, does she want to kind of go in that direction also?
She is actually an introvert, believe it or
not. Is she?
She does not love the camera. The camera loves her. She's beautiful, but very because I said, Aradia, you got kind of like a foot in the door a little toe at least. You know,
Sure,
you could
yeah.
be doing stuff with your social media. And she's like, I know, but she likes she moderates and runs an entire Discord server. She plays Pokemon. She's kind of like, she's a gamer chick. She's
Okay.
we always joke with the, I'm not like other girls joke, because neither of us are like really other people in general.
Right.
But
Just in very different ways.
yeah, but in very
Yeah.
different
Okay,
ways.
all
So
right.
I don't know that she'll go into entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't know that Avalon will as well. Avalon's kind of like a homemaker chef child.
Yeah.
Loves to cook, loves to organize a little event, likes to host. And then Isaac, if any of them, Isaac will probably be the one that goes into. He is, he's a lot. And that's a lot of energy. I thought I had a lot of energy, and then I met this child and I have no energy. No energy. They're all 5 years apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wow. Man, that's crazy. That's awesome, though.
it is. Well, I had Aradia, and then me and my ex-husband were like, because I wanted Aradia to have a sibling.
Yeah.
But I had 2 miscarriages in between Aradia and Avalon, and then I had a major car accident. Right before the major car accident, me and my ex-husband were like, you know. And then I had this major car accident where I broke my hip, my pelvis, and my sacrum, and I was bed rested for 9 months.
Damn.
I actually had adult babysitters.
No kidding.
Annie.
Oh, yeah, I remember
she,
Annie.
Yeah, she came and watched me for a while, and it was like very, very humbling because I couldn't do anything on my own. Then once I had got out of the wheelchair, off the walker, off the crutches, me and my ex-husband were just excited I could walk again, and then I got pregnant with Avalon.
Oh, nice. So it brought you back together for a little bit?
For
Enough to have
an
another
evening.
kid.
Yeah.
For an evening. Well, okay.
And then Isaac was after that. I had a 10-year,
With John.
with John.
So I am my guilty pleasure. The show that I cannot stop watching is MTV's The Challenge. I
And
like.
he's not even exaggerating.
I'm not. It's the only appointment television that I have, and it's been that way for years and years and years. And so, was Casey on your season of Big Brother?
Casey won my season of Big Brother.
Oh, she won it.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's like one of my favorite. I don't cast members, not characters, right? Cast members on The Challenge. She just seems like the coolest girl ever. She's like chill, like no drama, like super nice.
I just want to say that is the first time that I've ever heard anybody say that out loud, and I can 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
People cannot stand Casey on the chat.
Are
the
you
fandom.
serious?
Yeah.
Like from Big Brother? Or
Yeah,
from,
yeah,
because on
like-
The Challenge, she's like...
No. She's like they just say she's boring, I guess. But she is. She's chill. There is a clip of me on Big Brother describing her as a human joint. That's the kind of energy she has. Like, she's just so chill. I love Casey. I think Casey's dope as fuck. Like...
And on The Challenge, she's like, I mean, because she's an athletic freak.
Oh
Like,
my
she's
gosh.
a stud on The
Yes,
Challenge, like doing all the
yes,
physical stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a beast.
No, always was like super athletic and just kind of fucking cool. Like, I vibe with Casey. I've gotten the opportunity. We did a boxing match last year.
Oh, yes, I saw that. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you didn't fight her, right?
No, I didn't fight her. We fought Canadians.
Like Canadian Big Brother?
Yeah, Canadian Big Brother. Casey
Did you
won.
train for that?
Oh my God. Yes. And that shit was, that's such a funny story. So when I was managing clubs, I had somebody that used to work for me, and she was like my homegirl. I thought she was dope as fuck. I like start going to the gym once a week, half hour, feeling really good about myself. Really good. And
Ready to fight.
Yeah, ready to fight. 1.5 hour a week at the gym. And she hits me up and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm training for this boxing match." She was like, "Oh, you've never fought before?" I said, No, I haven't. What are you doing? I said, "Oh, girl, go to the gym once a week, half hour, like, power half
after
hour.
it.
Like, I'm going for it." She said, I'm gonna need to train you." So it turns out my homegirl was an MMA fighter. And my little half hour a week at the gym was not cutting it.
It's basically her warm up.
Yeah, she was like, meh. So she trained the fuck out of me. She used to drop me. I was getting punched in the face by MMA fighters, no gear. Like they fucked me up. If anything, I learned that I could take a hit. I could take a lot of hits. Good. I can take a lot of hits. I have a high pain tolerance. And she had me running miles. Like, I'd never run. My joke used to be that if a serial killer was chasing me, I would just sit down like, well, I guess this is the end, bitch. Let's go. Let's go. Because I do not run. In cheerleading, varsity cheerleading in high school.
Yep.
Oh, got my little inhaler out. Sorry, I'm going to sit this one out, ladies. Like, I do not
Real
run.
team player.
Yeah, I do not run. So that was fucking wild. And I was training a lot for that. So I got to see Casey there, and Fessy. And,
so Fessy was on that season also.
Fessy was on our season,
now,
too.
He seems like a douchebag. Like
but he's so pretty.
Good looking dude. But, and he seems like a nice person.
He is.
Just every and I'm making air quotes, every quote unquote move he makes on the show is like a shitty move.
I'm sure.
I don't know if I want to call it an opportunist, but he seems like a nice guy that just does asshole things, makes asshole decisions, and throws his friends under the bus and that kind of stuff.
I don't want to ruin whatever character he has going on, but he is an actual sweetheart. Yeah. I think he's just, oh, you want to make me the villain? I'll be the villain.
Yeah.
Kind of energy. And I guess it's working for him because he keeps getting cast on the show. So
those Big Brother people made it to the challenge. Your arch nemesis made it to the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Are all these being a reality star person, are other reality shows, do they reach out to you? Do you have to reach out to them? How does that stuff happen?
I'm not entirely sure. So they definitely have not reached out to me since I've been on Big Brother. But okay, so there was a time where I was like, oh my God, this one's getting cast on this one's getting cast on this, blah, 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 where's my... And I just, at a certain point, especially since my breakup, I completely decided that I am my own entity. I've always been my own entity, and I cannot compare myself to anybody else. These kids that are getting cast were all a good 10 years younger than me when we were on the show together. Not one of them had children.
Yeah.
We're in a different
time of your
market,
lives.
Time of our lives.
Yeah,
I'm different. I have a niche market of people that get it. Mm-hmm. And it spans through a couple different markets, but I'm kind of like a funky, trippy chick. And I am a mom, and I am a festival attendee, and I am a very expensive concert goer. And I love music. I love dance. I love those kinds of things. I'm not necessarily
the
for
free,
everyone.
The free spirits don't really.
Yeah. So I've found a very loyal fan base in a niche market of people that are very, very loyal. So what I'm called a micro influencer.
Okay.
But I am on a mission this year. I'm gonna get to over 100,000 on one of these.
There you go.
One of these platforms. I made it my mission last year to get to 50K on at least one of my platforms. I did that on TikTok.
Nice.
So I'm gonna keep growing and going.
That's awesome.
I put out a monthly cooking video.
After Big Brother, I feel like you would kind of be on a personal high, and then when that ends, because it ends abruptly, right? You're there one day. You're not there the next day. Was there a low that comes after that, just because you're the cameras aren't there when you go home? It's not filled with a house full of people. What happens the couple weeks after you leave Big Brother?
I had a really bad Big Brother experience. So I think the only lows that I necessarily experienced were that I was super sketched out and squirrely. Even when we would go to restaurants, I'd be like, are they plotting my downfall? Are they going to evict me out of the restaurant? I was fucked up that way.
Really?
Oh yeah. I didn't win. I actually epically, repeatedly fucked myself up on that show. And it was a matter of not having full belief in myself. So since Big Brother, I've been on this perpetual journey to just truly, truly believe in myself.
Yeah.
Like so many people have believed in me. You got to believe in yourself
Sure.
to actually accomplish it. So like my biggest fuck up on the show was that I actually won a competition that would have saved my ass, and I didn't believe I had the right answer because I saw my competition, the comp beast Tyler, coming up with a different color answer, and I thought I was wrong. So I asked him the answer so that I could go save myself, and it turns out he had the wrong answer. He ran back down, saved himself. And it's just a matter of you have to believe in you. And that is a journey and a struggle in life in general. So much of the world can tell us why we can't, you know? And we have to be the ones to tell us that we can. And
Now, how long after filming of Big Brother did it appear on TV? What was the span?
during.
Oh, so it was.
We were on it. So Big Brother films live.
Oh, okay.
There are 24-hour live feeds. People can watch you at any point in time, picking your nose, jerking off, fucking somebody. Like anything you're doing, they can watch. And they will watch, and they will put it on the internet because they watch it. So anything you can imagine doing weird that you're just like doing by yourself, you know, in your own house. And everybody has this, but wow, that was really weird. Thank God nobody else was
Right.
here.
Oh,
like,
sure,
what the fuck was
absolutely.
I doing?
Right.
Like, no. You do that on Big Brother and the world is watching. It has millions of viewers and everybody sees everything. So it's wild. That's a wild experience. So that's why when I got out, I was so sketched out. Like
Everybody's still watching.
everybody's still even though I knew they weren't, it still had this air of like people are plotting against me. I can tell, like, da da da. And I was a little weird in that way, but I'm not anymore.
Now you said that you like the celebrityness of it. So after it was done, the first few times you get recognized, does that feel good? Like, where were you at? Were you just at the coffee shop or? Like,
Well, I went to the Renaissance Festival. And this is one of the things that John says really solidified our breakup. We went to the Renaissance Festival and it was just like, oh my God, Rockstar, Rockstar, Rockstar. And he said that he just stood there while people were taking pictures with me.
But that's your moment.
But I fucking loved that
Right,
shit.
right.
Yes, who else knows me? Huzzah! Like
Line forms to the left.
Right. I was in my fucking glory. Are you kidding? So it's wild every so often. Just last week, I was at Costco and somebody was like, I know who you are. And I was like, yeah? From where? You know, because like now I'm at
Couple
home,
things, yeah.
right? Like, so people could know me from wherever, like we're
Right.
here.
Right.
So, and they're like Big Brother. And I take into saying at this point, like, oh, do you want to take a picture? Because sometimes people don't want to invade your space.
Right, 'cause you're
I'm
like the celebrity nightmares
I'm a
that people
camera
hate
whore.
that.
So,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Do you want to take a picture with me? If you post it, tag me. Like, I love that shit. I think it's cool.
What's the weirdest like approach or like thing that somebody has like done or said like in person? Because I'm sure you get weird shit online all the time.
Yeah, weird shit online.
But, like,
for
in
I love to
person.
dive into that.
I wouldn't say it was weird, but it was something that really meant something to me.
Okay.
And that was at a meet and greet event or maybe at a premiere party or something. Somebody had actually handcrafted me a candle that they like put herbs into and essential oils, and they had made it specifically for me out of all these people that were at the event. They didn't make none of them other bitches a candle. Like, I got that candle.
You got the candle.
And that meant a lot to
I mean,
me.
that's kind of cool. You know, that you reach someone at a certain level that they're like, hey, I'm going to make this for this person. I mean,
it
it's kinda
means
cool.
something. It's really fucking cool. I don't think it's really gotten. I'm a weird person, so
That's
like
fair.
it takes
You
a
accept
lot.
weirdness.
What may be weird as a story to somebody else, I'm just kind of like, all right, yeah, cool.
You see the uniqueness
I
of
do-
it instead
yeah.
of the weirdness of
Yeah,
it.
I don't really You gotta be real weird for me to call you weird. That's for sure.
I'm sure it's coming. Don't worry. I'm going to ask a question or two of a question from Steve because he wasn't here. So and look, like he made this whole thing. Like he typed this up. So,
ask all the questions. That's fine.
A lot of them you got to organically, so I don't have to really get into a lot of them. But one of them, an easy one. Did the Big Brother production team provide alcohol for you guys and encourage any drinking?
Certainly not enough. They they don't really. They give like a 6-pack of beer that everybody has to split, or like 1 bottle of wine.
I actually kind of respect that because I in a lot of those reality shows, you see the people get trashed and then they do the dumbest shit. So I kind of respect that they're not letting you guys get wasted.
Well, it's also, it wouldn't be very good for our health because those competitions look goofy as fuck, but they're hard.
Oh, yeah.
They're hard. And there was one point where I had like a heat. Like I went into the bathroom after a competition and I took off all my clothes. I didn't give a fuck. Like I was having a heat problem. That it was a spinning comp, and I can't imagine had I been drinking the night before, like I would have been vomiting everywhere. Like it would have been bad. So I understand why they don't, but to keep it interesting, they might have, you know.
Obviously, like one of your famous or more famous quotes on there was "My daughter's birthday." Like that, does that come up? Do people just yell that because that's kind of the catchphrase?
Oh, they love it. And you know who really loves it?
Your
My
daughter.
She loves that shit.
That was like, my birthday.
And the middle one is like, the only reason the middle one encourages me to go on any other TV show is if it's on their birthday. like, well, I want a famous birthday.
Right,
what are you doing? Like, go back on TV.
That's
you know, I'll try.
And you are on Cameo, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am on Cameo.
And
I love doing Cameo messages. I love doing birthdays because I get a lot of birthday requests.
Oh, okay, because that makes sense.
I really like doing pick me up messages when a lot of times somebody will say, hey, my friend's really going through it. Can you give them some life advice? I love that shit. Like, I love it.
And they can purchase that for $30.99.
Yes.
Which is a very, very specific number.
I didn't know there was a 99 on there. I thought it was just 30. I think Cameo did that.
Okay. Because that seems like $30.99. Maybe there's, you know.
You wanted to take yourself into that next tier.
I guess. Cameo said you're ready. You've got 5 stars. Go for it. Just get $31. They do take a cut, you know. So
of course,
not,
right.
I mean, which is fine. It's their company and they're running the whole thing. But
how much do they take, like percentage wise?
I think it's 20.
That's not bad.
Not bad. Yeah.
It's because Joe's going to start Cameo for like $5 a piece.
I
mean, you can.
Right.
You can rock.
I love that. I love doing the cameos. They make me happy. I am single. I am hot. Feel free to reach out to me if you are also single and hot.
And I mean, bonus points if you're a millionaire.
Yeah. Clearly.
Not to circle back to Brett, but since he was on
Is he the arch nemesis?
That's my arch
Okay.
nemesis.
Yes. All right.
And he was on another podcast and stated that you blocked him on all your social medias.
I recently unblocked him as a moving forward clean
olive leaf
slate.
Extending olive branch.
It was just a
I want
little.
to extend the olive leaf.
It wasn't a full branch. It was just a leaf.
A leaf. And not only did I unblock him, but I followed him.
Now, have you DM'd him or have you guys spoke at all?
No.
But he knew that you did.
Oh, he knew I blocked him. He knew for a while.
But did he know that you unblocked him?
I don't know. I put it up there. I said, don't be a douche about it. I unblocked you. I even followed you. You know, good luck in your future. And I did that.
But I feel like he would have to apologize to you. Because he's the one that, I mean.
I did say he had a micro penis on national TV. So
was that before or after?
That was after. But,
well, you know.
I was just, what I meant was a small dick energy. What I said was, you have a tiny little dick, you micro penis motherfucker. So I think he's got, he probably.
That didn't make it onto the CBS airwaves.
Oh, it did. It did. That was actually the funniest thing that quote unquote John said. He was like, well, you didn't win, but you did get micro penis on CBS. So that's, got to be standing for something.
How many rounds was the casting? Like you send him like a self tape?
Yes.
And then obviously it's not, they don't just pick you out of the 10,000. Like, is there the
There's
second round, third round?
Round and round and round. They did call me 2 weeks after I submitted my audition tape. It was the first and only time I had ever applied. Then the rest of the casting started, and it is a very extensive and thorough process, including
What's the most
like
weirdest thing that you was like, why would they even check that?
this. I mean, I guess it wasn't even weird, but they definitely do psych evals.
See
And
how
they have
unstable you
yeah,
are.
Yeah, right, exactly. I think they only pick the craziest of us.
Right. I think they just say they have these personalities that they have to fit. Make sure
Right.
that they don't, that make sure that they do butt heads.
Well, I was actually, I thought an alternate until they said, they gave me this final phone call maybe like a month before, I want to say like a couple weeks before. They were like, would you be willing to be an alternate? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. Like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then they called and they said, Angela Rockstar, we really need to know, like, who don't you like? Because I said, I love people. Like, I do truly love people, and I can matriculate in a lot of different circles of people. And they said, there's got to be somebody, some
Like
personality,
like a celebrity type.
Just a specific type of person that you don't like. And I said, all right, my mom's going to kill me for this. But you know those like douchey entitled white guys that just get everything handed to them, and they're like, blah, blah, just daddy's credit card and everything. I can't stand them. I worked in nightclubs. I know who they are. They come in, they talk about like, I could buy this whole place, and then they leave 25 cents on the table as a tip. And that's who I can't stand.
Then that's when they cast Brett.
That's when he was probably already cast. And that's when they cast me.
Okay.
When I said that.
Okay.
They said, they called me the next day. They said, you're not an alternate anymore. So they knew
Of course.
we were not going to sync up.
Their job is entertainment.
Right.
Right.
And I know that Brett has said this on other podcasts, and I don't disagree with him. Had we actually figured out how to work the angle of working together, we would have been in those two final chairs, because everybody knew we could not stand each other for shit. Like, we just weren't syncing up, except that one conversation about quantum physics. That was cool.
Now, is there any, for lack of a better word, aftercare from production? Like, after you leave, was there any contact? Like, how you doing? How are you handling? Or were they just like, get the hell out? Like, do your thing?
Now they do that. Now they give everybody therapy.
Okay.
They did not during my season. I do get a birthday message from production every year, and I get a birthday message for each one of my kids. And
then that's it? Okay.
That's it.
Well,
That's it.
I guess that's maybe better than nothing.
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 Right.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they don't pay you guys, or I don't know if you get paid or any residual.
No,
Like,
there's
like
no
you go for the
residuals.
prize. If you don't get the prize, like that's
So
it.
there's $0. You don't even get like a per diem.
No.
It's either you win or nothing.
No. They give you a per diem. They give you a stipend.
Okay, for
and
being there.
The
Okay.
longer that you're there, you get paid for whatever amount of time you're gone.
Okay.
But like, okay, so they just put 2 seasons on Netflix, 10 and 14. Those people are not being paid for that being on Netflix.
royalties.
Like, no royalties, no residuals, no nothing like that. Now they will all have a big social media boost because now it's on Netflix. What you do with that is
that's up to you.
what
right?
you're able to
Okay.
do with that, And that's, I think what was really fucking cool is how many people watch the show, and how many people I had no idea watch the show. Like, some of the Backstreet Boys watch the show. Like, there's just a wide variety of people that, because I've maintained my micro influency status I have about 50, close to 50K on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And because I maintain that, every so often I'll get somebody that is a huge creator, like, say, for example, on TikTok with 1 million followers, that I'll like their stuff and they'll be like, oh my God, Rockstar, I love you. And so that comes, people you didn't even know watch Big Brother.
Yeah.
People get very, very into it. And the fan base is incredible. They're incredible. They get so, locked in and tied in and relate to you so hard, whether they love you or they hate you.
They are emotionally
They
invested.
are emotionally invested because they watch you for 3 months of your life.
Yeah, the
That's
worst
wild.
thing that could happen is that someone would just be indifferent.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
you want them to either love you or hate
I
you, but
know.
not
Right.
be indifferent.
Just the famous words of JJ, I nothing you.
Right, like that's the worst thing that can happen.
It is if you want to maintain.
Right, so you
Or
have to have a
grow.
personality. You have, I mean, and you're gonna when you have a strong personality, you know that I'm alienating, certain people, but other people are gonna love me, and that's who I'll hang out with. Like,
Exactly. I'm not for everybody. That's okay. Not everybody's for me. I don't think any of us really are for everybody. We could present that way. We could totally polish ourselves up to look like we're for everybody or present like we're for everybody. But at the end of the day, like,
but that gets so vanilla.
Yeah.
You end up reaching nobody at that point.
exactly. I mean,
Do people give you hate DMs? Do you still get those just for the hell of it?
not so much anymore. Every so often somebody's like, ew. And I'm like, I'll look up their picture and I'll be like, is this you? Is this you saying ooh to me? Because
Ooh back.
let's look at you. Let's look at you. But I really do try to empower everybody. And that's because I've been kind of on my own mission to empower myself for a very long time. I like to look back on my Facebook memories at the shit I've been talking for like 10, 15 years. Same stuff. Perpetual student of life, just always trying to grow, change, evolve, be better than the person that I was the day before, and not really in competition with anybody but me. And to see that I can do that. And every so often I'll get kind of like down on myself because I do fall into a little bit, it's natural to go, oh, this one's getting this and this one's getting that. And then I just kind of think like, bitch, you're a single mom of 3 and you maintain all these social media platforms and you,
I can tell you that's tough because we have 3 social media platforms and there's 3 of us and we can't maintain it.
yeah, it's like,
We can't maintain one.
like as long as I'm doing better than I was the day before, as long as I've improved slightly, then I'm on the fucking path, whatever it is,
Absolutely.
the journey.
That's awesome. I mean, you're getting it a lot more than 98% of other people. So you're doing something right.
I'm trying. I love life though. I do. And
It doesn't suck.
thank
It
you.
shows.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm very pleased to be here. So
I'd have to invite you back again because I know Steve definitely wants to come in, in the studio and hang out with you.
yeah,
So
no, definitely.
if this wasn't the worst experience you've ever had, would you come back and do another one?
yeah,
with us?
absolutely.
Awesome.
100%.
Yeah, and Steve's the goofiest one of us. You would like Steve.
Steve, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. I hope you feel better.
All right. Well,
That was a good one.
yeah, that was great. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
I appreciate
you.
it. I hope to have you back soon. Follow us on Jim Joe Steve Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And Angie, where can we find you?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram at Angela MFN Rockstar.
What does
like
the MFN stand for?
my fun neighbor, of
Oh,
course.
okay.
Yes. Motherfucking Rockstar. Which is actually going back to way earlier. That's what they used to call me in the club. Oh shit, Angela motherfucking Rockstar is here. So there's like a middle name that I
I like
adopted
it.
too. I'm on Twitter at Mrs._A Rockstar, but that is a fallacy because a bitch is single. And I am at TikTok at Angela Rockstar.
And what
Just
about
one
Cameo?
word. And Cameo, I think you could
It's
just
just your
look
name.
up
Search the
Angela
name.
Rockstar. I
Okay,
think,
all right.
but that's also linked on my Instagram.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I love doing cameos.
And I mean, what better Christmas, Hanukkah gift than a cameo from Angela Rockstar?
That's so true. I just did one last night.
Jesus' birthday.
On Jesus'
Right, that's
birthday.
right. On Jesus' birthday.
What do
I
you
have
think Jesus would charge for a cameo? He would do
He-
it for
he
free.
would
to do it
Trick
for
question.
free. Yeah, you would gift them to everyone.
But we got bills.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I too would travel around with 12 men. I'm just saying.
All right, guys. Well, for the Jim Joe Steve Show, my name's Joe.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Angela Rockstar.
And we'll talk to you next week.